the Shonen anime tier list. Now, have I seen all of these? Probably. Most of them. If I haven't, I'll just leave it at the bottom. But we'll start with this today. And I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for this. Because I haven't seen every single one. And some are classics. Some are classics, and I do understand that. So, apologies. Also, my YouTube multi-stream was supposed to be working today, but it's not. So, I'll have to figure that out sometime. I could have sworn it was supposed to work. But oh well, we'll figure that out later. Shall we get started? Let's begin. I'm not gonna put them in any particular order. Let me set up TikTok so that they can see. I'm not gonna put them in any particular order, but I will. I'll try my best. Okay. So like if stuff is in A tier, I'm not gonna put it like high A tier, low A tier. I'm just gonna put them where I want them. Okay. Okay. Let's begin. Attack on Titan. This caused the great shift. Attack on Titan is the anime that caused the great shift in reality to where anime was no longer niche and just for the nerds. Anime became mainstream with Attack on Titan. And I think, this is gonna sound crazy, I hold a lot of resentment towards Attack on Titan for that reason. When I should really hold it against the people, huh? Because Attack on Titan, it's an S tier. It's an S tier anime. You can't really argue against that. Whether you are a new gen anime watcher or an old gen anime watcher, Attack on Titan is S tier. Moving on to Black Clover. It's not S tier. Dare I say it's not even A tier. Dare I say it's not even B tier. I think Black Clover is a C tier anime. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's great. I think it is carried by few characters and fights. Bleach. Not C. Not B. It like teeters between S and A. And like, would I put it up there? I think I have to put Bleach in S tier. Not just because of the content, but because of what it has done for anime. Blue Exorcist, I've watched a little bit of it. And from what I've seen, it's a B tier. I think we can all agree, and I think that's okay. Boruto, it's literal shit. It is literal shit. Not anime related question, but have you seen or had any interest in trying Soul Frame? Yes, I think I have it even wishlisted on Steam. I think, maybe, but yes, interested. Back to Boruto. Actual poop from a butt. The anime is like 90% filler. It's actually more filler than actual show. So it can't be good. Dragon Ball Super. This is a personal one for me. I'm going to put it in A tier because of the time that I watched it and the impact it had on me. I watched this my sophomore year in college. I like binged it and I caught up at the end of the tournament. Like I think when the final episode was airing, when it was Frieza, 17, Goku, and Jiren fighting. That episode is when I caught up finally. And it was hype then. It was hype. Dragon Ball Z. Now, y'all are going to hate me for this one. Because in the grand scheme of things, right? In the grand scheme of the world, Dragon Ball Z's impact is the highest. It is the highest. People know Goku. People know the Kamehameha. But in terms of actually watching it, when compared to others here, it's B or C. It's B or C. And again, I know that is crazy, okay? So don't get mad at me. I know it is crazy. I'm gonna put it in B. But again, it's like a god tier in terms of everything. But I'm talking about like just watching it. Can't do it. Death Note. It starts out as an S tier anime. And then, spoiler alert, once L dies, it becomes butt cheeks. It becomes butt cheeks once L dies. For that reason, because it was so hard to push through the rest of the anime once L died. I think that pushed it down to low A, high B. I'll just throw it in there. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, that's an S tier. That is the S tier. That is non-stop good anime right there. Storytelling, gore, characters, everything. S tier. Fairy Tail. This was brain rot before brain rot in terms of how much content and stuff goes on in this anime. But man, is it a fun time. I think it's much better than Black Clover. Do I put it in the same realm as Death Note, Dragon Ball Z? I don't think it's horrible, right? I don't think it's horrible. There's definitely some great moments. Definitely some weird moments. Old school anime. I'll throw it in B. Gintama. S tier. S tier comedy. S tier fun. I watched that, like, that was like part of my, so Gintama and Saiki K were a part of my like going to bed ritual. Like I would watch them as I was laying in bed, and great. Haikyuu. Now this is personal. I know not everyone's gonna agree with this. This is S tier. Haikyuu is an S tier anime. I don't care what anybody says. It is the best sports anime. It's the best sports anime. And I'm saying that as I'm looking at Hajime no Ippo and Kuroko's Basket. But I haven't watched Hajime no Ippo. I've watched a little bit of Kuroko's. Okay. Hunter x Hunter, another S tier. Another S tier. And it has to be. Hajime no Ippo, I'm going to leave out. I'm not going to judge it because I haven't watched it. Same with Kuroko's no Basketball. I'm not going to watch it, or I'm not going to judge it because I haven't finished it. JoJo's. The entirety of JoJo's. Man. I know people hate when people say this. Part 1 is a bit of a drag, but it's also like, it's such a drag and its peak at the same time. Because, I mean, that just, it's lore. It's lore for the following seasons. And that's what you kind of have to really look at that season as. Think about it as you're getting the lore for the actual show. Because it's so different from every other season. I mean, even part 2, it still leans more towards part 1 than the rest of the series. I'm going to put JoJo's at A tier. There's some things that I'm like, okay, I get it. But I think it's an A tier. Samurai Champloo, that's an A tier. Classic, great all around. The A tier. My Hero Academia. We gotta disregard our thoughts on the old fandom around My Hero Academia back in 2017, 2018, 2019. Because this show is peak. This show is peak. The art design is peak. The characters are peak. The music is peak. The movies are peak. The anime episodes are peak. It's going in S tier. I think it solidified itself as being a classic in the future. My Hero Academia is going to be an anime that people talk about, that everyone has to watch. Shoot me. Naruto, I mean, another classic, and I know you're gonna look at me like I'm crazy putting Naruto. I did have my problems with Naruto. I did have my problems with Naruto. I think it has to go A tier. Like, I can't put, like, do I think Naruto is up here? Watching it, like when I was watching it, where would I put it? I'm trying to put aside like what it's done, you know? Just watching the show. It's an A tier show. Obviously you can't be like, oh, but Naruto's like, obviously Naruto's been the inspiration for a ton of stuff. It's the reason a bunch of different anime, it's one of the founding fathers. Big three, it's part of the big three. But like, just watching it, you know, I think it's an A tier, which A tier isn't even bad. B tier isn't even bad. Once you start getting to C and butt cheeks, that's when stuff starts getting bad. 7 Deadly Sins. Those first 2 seasons were great. Super fun. And they lost their way. And it's gotta be our first in butt cheeks. It's gotta be our first in butt cheeks. I loved the first 2 seasons. They were really fun, super cool, a bunch of aura farming, and then they just lost their way. Noragami was like the second or third anime I ever watched. I started watching anime at the end of middle school. Maybe like 7th grade. So my second year in middle school, like consistently. Because I watched Naruto as a kid. I watched Inuyasha on Adult Swim as a kid late at night. Like one episode when I could. But Noragami, it holds a special place in my heart. And so I feel like I can't judge it without a bias. Because I did watch it so early on. But also at the same time, it's such a good anime. It's so good. And for that reason, it's an S. One Piece. Oh. Don't get me fantasizing and salivating about One Piece, man. It's everything that anime should be now, okay? Back in the pre-time skip was peak looking back. Just on like the characters and the style. It's so old school. It's so classic. It's so genre defining. But you can't ignore how watching it, sometimes you're like, can we just hurry up? Can they stop throwing the same punch for the past minute? You know, can they stop looking at each other for the past 45 seconds? And it gets to a point, you know. It gets to a point. So the culmination of watching One Piece, of just watching it, is an A. But in terms of everything, I think it's an S. I'm putting it an S. I don't care. Shoot me. I think One Piece is better than Naruto. I think One Piece is better than Bleach. I think it's better than, because of the big three. Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, and then Dragon Ball is the founder. That's correct. One Punch Man. Super fun. It's a fun anime. It's nothing spectacular, you know. It's super easy to watch. You put it on, watch it, and that's the day. I'll throw it into it's a B. It's a nice middle ground. Now, if we're talking about Naruto and S tier, we have to talk about Naruto Shippuden. Because Naruto Shippuden belongs in S tier. Shonen Jump Naruto, not as good as Shippuden. Yeah. I couldn't stop watching Shippuden. What am I looking at? What is this one? I genuinely cannot tell what this anime is. And for that reason, I'm not judging it because I don't know. Soul Eater, I have not watched all of it. So I'm not going to judge it. I haven't watched all of Soul Eater. I'm not going to watch it. Promise Neverland, literal shit. It's a literal shit anime. The manga is S tier. I don't know what they did with this anime, but whoever was involved needs to be taken to the back of the shed and beaten with hammers. Because goodness, they did The Promised Neverland a disservice. The manga was so good, I could not put it down. And then season 2 of the anime comes out. And I could have made a better anime in Roblox. I could have made something special. It's very disappointing. It's so disappointing what they did with Promised Neverland, man. Finally, Yu Yu Hakusho. It's a good A. It's a good A. It has the problems of an older anime, but it's Yu Yu Hakusho, man. Okay, let's look at the list. I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate. I know I'm gonna get called dumb. But all things considered, I don't think it's a horrible list. You know? Like you can argue points. You could be like, oh, this should belong in S. I think some definitely teeter the line. You know, like Bleach teeters SA. Whoa. Whoa. It teeters between tier S and tier A. Hunter x Hunter sometimes. I can see the argument for the classics being an S because of their impact. But in my opinion, this is it. Right here. Read it and weep.